Hello everyone, how's life? So here we are to begin this NPTEL course on employment communication, a lab based course. To introduce myself, I am Dr. Seema Singh, Associate Professor in English from the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences at IIT Kharagpur. And we have this course on employment communication, and today my endeavor will be to introduce you to the course. So let's move forward. Right at the beginning, I would like you to have a snapshot of the course. This course has 40 lectures of half an hour each. We have 15 practice sessions since it is a lab based course and 25 lecture sessions. These 40 units are divided into 8 modules, and after a set of 5, whether it is a set of 3 lectures and 2 lab sessions or 2 lectures and 3 lab sessions, after each 5 units there will be a test. So what we mean is we have 8 modules and 5 tests to cover the 15 practice sessions and the 25 lectures. We also have the end term test. So that is in brief, at a glance, the course on employment communication, a lab based course. Now let us have a quick glance at the course modules and what concepts I will be covering in the course. The first module will introduce you to the course, and we begin with verbal communication. Verbal communication, that is verbal coming from Latin verbum, V-E-R-B-U-M, that is words, V-E-R-B-U-M, that is words, I repeat, and that is the starting of the course. From that we move on to module 2, where we go on to non-verbal communication, which is in common parlance called body language, or anything which is non-words, since we have already told you verbal, that is from Latin verbum, that is words. So non-verbal, that is non-words, any sort of communication which is occurring without the use of words. Then we move on in module 2 to the second aspect, which is cross-cultural communication, or in simple words, communication across cultures. Module 3 consists of body language, further development on non-verbal communication, and listening skills. Listening skills is the mother of all speaking. Listening is very imperative in all aspects, in all components, in all types of communication, and therefore there is a need to introduce you to this topic. When we come to module 4, then in fact we come to the thrust of the course as such. I will begin by introducing you to the general aspects of CV writing or resume writing, and then we will move on to how to write impressive CVs, while remembering the fact that your CV or resume is your very first interaction with your prospective employer, and therefore the need that you get off to a new start and you impress right from the beginning. Going on to module 5, let us think about a stage when you are now having maybe 10, 15, 20 years of experience, but as usual you are trying for a job shift, a job change, and therefore now in this module number 5 we will be covering the nitty-gritties of how to write impressive CVs at a later point of life in your career. And this is called CV writing stage 2. Module 6, we will be covering the topic of cover letter. Any resume, any CV reaches the prospective employer with a cover letter or a letter of introduction, and how to write this cover letter will be the first stage of module 6. In the second part of module 6, we will move on to group discussions. We remember that in this course on employment communication, we are taking you through the 3 stages of how you will be getting employed. What are the 3 types of employment communication activities you will engage in before you are absorbed or before you join the workplace or the workforce as an employee. We remember that the first stage of the employment communication process is the CV writing, or your first interaction with your prospective employer through your resume. Group 2, or moving on to the second phase, is what is called group discussions. Group discussion is the second stage of the employment communication process or procedure, where the organization or the company will be calling you over to a prefixed place, time, venue will be specified to you, and you will be discussing on a matter in which the company or the observers of the company, representatives of the company, will be watching you from maybe another room through CCTV, or maybe through a glass door on one side or a glass window on one side, which looks like a door or window, but on the other side there are people of the company and they are able to observe you. Of course, they are able to listen to whatever you are saying, because that is the thrust of the matter. In the group discussion, the company or the organization is trying to assess how would you be acting, how would you be behaving, how would you be working in the actual workplace. So, it is an attempt to put you in a virtual scenario and try to predict or try to think about how this person or how this set of people or how they will be working if they are with us, employed with us. Then we move on to the third stage of the employment communication process. I have already said that the first stage or stage 1 is CV or resume writing, stage 2 is group discussion. Now, stage 3 or the last stage is the personal interview. Having crossed the first stage and the second stage, now you have been lucky enough and you have been called to the headquarter or to the place where the personal interview will take place. The personal interview is one to many, one to one, or whatever. It is a very purposeful, planned decision making conversation. It is not a mere conversation. It is purposeful, planned decision making communication. And in this, you will be interviewed by those who are occupying managerial and executive positions in the organization, and they are in the position or they have been sent there or they are representing the company because they will be able to decide, they will be the final deciding persons, and they will be able to choose and select the best employees to work in their organization. The second part of module 7, the second part of module 7 is how to tackle difficult questions in personal interviews. The point being that many a times the students, or those preparing for interviews, or those in fact who are seeking a change of workplace, will be having these queries or these questions in their mind. That if I am asked a difficult question, if I am asked this question which I consider to be difficult, how will I respond? What should my answer be? And how to tackle it successfully? So, the second part of module 7, that is introduction to personal interviews and tackling difficult questions in personal interviews, will be dealing with this specific aspect. How will you crack the tough questions when you are in the interview situation. And lastly, we have module 8, where in fact since we have come to the end of the course, first stage resume writing or CV writing, second stage, and that is group discussions and cracking a GD, and the third is the personal interview. Therefore, the point is that what would it take, how would it matter if, and what should you do if you are to be successful in the personal interviews. And the point is that if you have come all the way, your CV has been shortlisted, you have been called for the group discussion, and finally you are face to face with the employers or their representatives in the organization, you have been called for the personal interview, and then if you have to go back at this stage, it would not be good. In fact, nobody would like it. It would be very, very sad, I think. And therefore, the module number 8 covers success in personal interviews and then the course wrap up. Now, the point which would normally speaking, naturally speaking, it would come to your mind is, that half of the course modules have to do with the course as such, and we seem to be having too much of an introduction to the course, that is verbal communication, non-verbal communication, cross-cultural communication, listening skills. So, we do 4 topics before we come to the thrust of the course, to the main topics of the course. So, in this context, I thought I will just show you a small video and then we can move on.
Dr. Thornburg! Hooray for Dr. Thornburg! There you go.
enjoyed that short video. At the end, in conclusion, it was an ad of Coca-Cola. Anyway, what I believe, what I think, I wanted to communicate to the students of this course by making you view this video, and I am sure you enjoyed it, is two things. There are two things I wanted to communicate or share with you. The first is the individual, and that is the candidate himself, herself, the student or the worker. The student who is trying for his or her first job, and the worker or the employee who is now trying for a second job or a job shift during the course of his or her career. So, what the video perhaps seemed to tell us is that the skills of the individual matters at the workplace. And remember, and we do remember, that each individual, every individual is a gift of the God, gift of the Creator to this planet. So, each one of us is unique, and we have our own set of skills and aptitudes which matter at the workplace, which matter both at the personal and the professional levels. So, having said that, now let us come to the second point, that when it comes to the workplace, there is a statement in English, common statement in English which goes, no man is an island, and I base my second point on that. In the workplace, it is the team spirit, the group, the project, all the employees or the people in a group or a project who matter. And therefore, my second submission to all of you is that even in employment communication, or even in the process of getting employed, or even in the three-stage employment communication process, what we must remember, and I think this is a very important must, MUST, bold, all caps, we must remember that we are going to work as a group. So, things like selfishness, things like having a narrow view or narrow thinking of the others who have come to the venue, who have come to seek employment, who are competitors with you to get maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number of jobs or vacancies as they exist as advertised by the organization. In fact, it would matter more if we think in this way, positively, let the best man win, let the best candidate be selected. And as for yourself, point number 1, as for your skills, strengths as a worker, as a student, as a person, as an individual, we need to work on that. And therefore, the first half of the course, at least up till module number 3, we are working on those core areas of our development as successful communicators. And when we come to the course proper, that is module number 4 to 8, then we move as a group, we move as a team. We do not forget our individual strengths, we build on them, but we think in a holistic manner, and we think that we are all trying to get the job, but may the best man win. Again and again, we must remind ourselves that what happens is the best which could have happened, and the best persons were selected, and the best persons will be selected, and therefore, I have to try to be the best candidate for the job. There is the right job, and I have to be the best person for that. So, let us come to the first module, and here I will be, in fact, we are now doing in fact this lecture number 1. After that, we have lecture number 2, communication and introduction to that process, very important. The third lecture will focus on the requirement or the need or the importance of communication skills at the workplace, and then we have lecture 4 and 5 where I develop at length on verbal communication, words, that is the building block of language, and further on. Moving to module 2, non-verbal communication and cross-cultural communication. We will be covering non-verbal communication through lecture number 6 and 7 and move on to cross-cultural communication in lectures 8 and 9, and then we have the first of the lab sessions, practice session, which will be followed by feedback covering all the topics which have gone before. Coming now to module 3, we move further and deal at length on body language. I have in fact 4 lectures in this module on body language. I will be dealing at greater length on body language because of the fact that this is the language of the body and this cannot be hidden. You can mask your words, you can improve upon your diction, vocabulary, you can be a good verbal communicator, but as far as your body language or non-verbal communication exists, or it is, in fact it cannot be hidden from the other, and therefore the need to have 2 more hours on body language. Then we come to lecture number 13 and 14, listening skills, and here we will have exercises also on listening skills which will in fact emphasize the importance of this most important of the 4 communication skills. When we speak about communication skills, the phrase as such, we mean listening, speaking, reading and writing, or in short we call them LSRW. In these 4 communication skills, listening is the most important, and therefore in the practice session lecture or module or unit number 15 of module 3, we will be having a practice session on listening skills and feedback on that. Moving to module 4. Module 4 is introduction to CV writing and how to write impressive CVs. First of all, we will be continuing with the practice session on listening skills and body language. Number 17 and 18 have to do with CV writing and introduction, which is continued in lecture number 18. Number 19 and 20 will be your first of the sessions which deal with the course at depth. Number 19 is how to write impressive CVs as a beginner or a fresher. As the prerequisites for the course state that most final year students of undergraduate courses, whether it be arts, humanities, social sciences, management, engineering, medicine, all are eligible to attend this course, to enroll in this course, because this is just the beginning of the employment communication process. Number 20 is practice session 1 and feedback. I call it practice session 1 because there is a need to have some more practice sessions on how to write impressive CVs. Some of my students, whether they are postgraduate or undergraduates, some of them have volunteered to be part of these practice sessions, which will be recorded in the language lab, and after that we will have feedback sessions, so that you get a feel, even if this is an NPTEL course, you get a feel as if you are in the classroom, and of course you can raise your questions later on in the discussion forum as well. Let us move on to module number 5. The 5th module is titled How to Write Impressive CVs at Later Stages in One's Career, or in short CV writing phase 2 or stage 2. As I mentioned, there will come a time in life when you will seek a change of the workplace, a change of the organization, and this one is on that. We will teach you how to write impressive CVs, and in fact there is a follow up with practice session 1 and feedback, practice session 2 and feedback. We move on to module 6 where we have practice session 3 and feedback on writing CV stage 2, And module 6 is how to write the cover letter and introduction to group discussions. Cover letter is an important component. This is number 27. It is an important component of the course because the cover letter accompanies the CV. Therefore, it is your first interaction with the employer, and the way you write or communicate your paragraphs or words or your language in the cover letter is very important to make a first impact on your prospective employer. 28 and 29 we will be starting with group discussions and give you some strategies or some formulas for success in group discussions, followed by number 30, practice session 1. We move on to practice session 2 and practice session 3 for group discussions, supported by feedback from me, the course instructor. When we move on to module number 7. Module 7 is titled Introduction to Personal Interviews and Tackling Difficult Questions in Personal Interviews. First, we introduce you to the personal interview in lecture number 33. We give some tips on how to prepare for the personal interviews in lecture number 34, and in lecture number 35 I will be giving you some ideas. Of course, these are not preset answers, you do not have to go by what I say in this NPTEL series, but just some hints on how to tackle difficult questions in personal interviews. Module 8, the last one in this series, is titled Success in Personal Interviews and Course Wrap Up. The first lecture in this 5 lectures module is Success in Personal Interviews. As I said, having come all this way, stage 1, stage 2, if in stage 3 you have to face failure, of course it is not good, and therefore this lecture on that. We have 3 final concluding lab sessions or practice sessions in this lecture series, and then we wrap up the course with lecture number 40, course wrap up. These are few of the references which I have used to develop this first presentation. Thank you and goodbye. We will meet soon with lecture number 2, communication and introduction. Thank you and God bless you once again.